Hello everybody, it's Gail here again from Ornamentology. Following on from my grunge journals that I'm starting to make, I thought I'd do this one. Now this is a completely different arrangement for me altogether. I I had a foray to what's it called? Hobbycraft, that's it. And they had on offer some alcohol inks, so I thought, oh, I've always wanted to have a go at those then, and I had a voucher, so I thought I'd spend the voucher wildly, and it was reduced anyway, and bought these alcohol inks. And my goodness, why have I not used those before, for goodness sake? So I decided I would make a grunge journal. Now this shape here is in MDF. Let me just tell you what this is called. This is called a plan, because it says plan. I have loads of back to the story of the fact that I've taken the insides out because I wanted the actual contents of this book for a decorating project I was doing. So I suddenly had lots of book covers. So I found these things. They were big sheets, kind of like A2 sheets of quite thin MDF that I found them in a skip. The builder was hoiking them out, and I sort of said, do you mind if I have some of these? Help yourself, duck, you know, anything you take out means I've got a bit more room for something else kind of mentality. So I brought them home, and they've been sat in my workroom for what seems like ever, and I didn't know quite what to do with them. And then in a fit of kind of, I can't deal with them like this, I broke them into bits. I just kind of literally snapped them and fiddled with them, and I ended up with some really interesting shapes. So the closure of this book is a piece of elastic, which I have hand sewn because I can do that. So I'm going to just put that there. And it's just, I've used a lot of things here. This is well and truly a grunge journal, and I'm really liking it. There's going to be more of these, I think. So it's the actual book itself is the whole book, and I've covered it in brown paper, and then I rubbed it with Payne's grey paint, and I managed to get hold of some more corrugated cardboard that you can actually see the corrugations, and I've done with that. I've used the inside, these dotty bits are the inside of the card that comes in banana boxes. This is a bit of something that I bought at Halloween. You're supposed to run it over your table. So I sewed that all together, thank you very much, and kind of decoupaged, no, maybe that's not the word, collaged the cover. And then I found this bit that took my fancy. I quite like the fact that it's kind of a bit frayed. I like that about it, I have to say. And as you use it, it'll fray even more. So I gessoed it and then splatted it with this alcohol ink stuff. And I really like this alcohol ink stuff. I think I'll be doing more with that. I'll work round the book. When I get to the other end, I'll show you the back of it. But these stencils, these are quite astounding, really. I'm going to give you a quick look at them. A few years ago, somebody gave me this old drawer of stencils, and they're like this. I'm just going to show you them. They're kind of a bit, they came like this. This is the stain that was on them. And basically, they're a set of brass stencils, numbers, words, and the like, that are from an architect's drawing office. So this says horizontal scale, this says reference, section online, vertical scale. Some says, this says, I don't even know what that says. Oh, separation. It's just, there's just all these interesting words in different fonts. They're amazing. So I found the word plan and deposited it on there. And then this is how it goes. It's just got one signature in it, but I've got this flip out situation. So I'm going to just move this along. And instead of, sorry, I'm fidgeting here. Instead of decorating both sides, I decided I would use some of these stencils on some, oh my word, my words are disappearing terribly today. Ledger paper, and have that where you can write on it. I had this, it just came in some packaging, and it says, no minute gone comes ever back again. Take heed and see ye nothing and see ye nothing, do in vain. It just seemed quite interesting. And I've got the word plan, drawing number and reference here, and just some stickers that somebody was allowing us to download for free and use gratuitously. So I've just put a few of those on. I've made a little notebook here that I've just held together with one of these legal document ties. I quite like these. This works with this grunge idea that I'm going with. And I've just put little bits of this ledger paper and some more ATC cards, I think they're called. It's just so you can write on them. And then I found a tea bag, and so I just stamped a number on it and put that in there because I could, really, because all good workmen have a tea break, don't they? I've collaged on this side. I've got a couple of pockets, and it's got things like a tea card that tells you how to make ties to hold a bench together. This is a 1952 Olympic card, number 27, from the Helsinki Olympics, and it's just like a tea card thing, and this chap's obviously doing the Fosbury flop, which is a high jump manoeuvre, you know. Also, more tea cards, and in my stash I had this wonderful selection of they're from the Enid Blyton's famous five, and they're a card game. I don't understand the card game, the instructions aren't there, but aren't the images beautiful? I would guess they're 1950s, I would think. And then this is about how to put up a weather vane. It tells you how to do it, a simple weather vane, how to make it, household hints, and it's Will's cigarette cards. I am not advocating smoking, I'd just like to say, you know, let's just be square about that. So let me just move this along. So this is the actual signature. So I just went a bit crazy on this black background with just the white gesso, white acrylic paint, and just kind of did a few of these stencils, but I didn't do them very well. I did them deliberately badly because I quite like the fact that it looks a bit worn and old. So you get one signature, but there's lots of things here. There's hand-dyed papers. This is a bag that electrical components come in, and these get thrown out, so I've kind of fastened this to a bit of book paper, so you've actually got an envelope here that you can tuck things in, and I quite like the way it looked a bit Payne's greyish. Some writing sheet. This folds down if you want to write a bit further. I didn't want to cut it off because I quite liked the actual pattern of it. There's an envelope here that you can put things in if you wish. I bought this gadget, and it's a stapler, and it basically gets the piece of paper and folds it over. I quite like the grunginess of that. And again, I've done this staggering here. This is a bit of Cantonese, I think. I just liked the shape of the letters. I've no idea what it says. As you can tell from today, I'm struggling with English, to be honest. This is from a stamp album, and it's a pocket. I haven't put anything in these pockets. I've left them naked so that you can fill them up yourselves, because, you know, I'm sure you're going to have treasures. If you're going to have a journal like this, you're going to have treasures, aren't you? Bit of brown paper. My obsession with that continues. More hand-dyed papers. A bit more of this ledger paper. These are just beautiful. I quite like the way it does it. It's just like a staple machine. Hang on, let me see if I can get it. Here it is. It's this, and you just kind of thread your paper and squitch it, and it cuts out that bit and folds it over very cleverly. Thank you very much. Obviously made in the land of the rising sun. Do we make anything in our country? Probably not. Just a mess, I think. Sadly, I've rubbed this out so it looks like it was there, and now it isn't. More of the recipe book sheet, and I've kind of gone with a really grungy look to this. This folds down so you can write on it. I didn't want to lose this edge. It was so beautiful, and if I'd have cut it to size, you'd have lost that bit, and I didn't want to, so I left it on. There's something here. It's in kind of some Eastern European language. I don't know which Eastern European language because I don't speak Eastern European. But, you know, if you do, you make sense to you. There's another pocket here for you to put your wonderful treasures. A bit more ledger paper. And then there's this. This, a long time ago when I did my fine art degree, I talked about how we dispose of or fail to dispose of small domestic appliances which have built-in obsolescence and are unrepairable. And I went to a local landfill place that is now no longer in existence, and got kind of 10, he just kindly gave me 10 keyboards, and this is part of the inside of the keyboard, and these prints on here are prints that I made that were, there were thumbnails, but we didn't use that term then, of the inside of toasters and irons that I'd screen printed on top of there. And it's just been sat in my workroom doing nothing. So I thought I'd put it in this grungy journal. It's just a bit of interest. It's an interesting, you know, if you don't know what it is, you don't know what it is. But it's kind of interesting. It's almost like hieroglyphics in a way. A paper bag that's got a tea stain on that I quite liked. Again, a pocket, another piece you can fold down. This is avocado dye paper, a bit more Eastern European. I wish I could tell you what language it was, but I don't know. This folds down both ways because I really liked that bit and I didn't want to lose it. You know, when you dye your own paper and you get these interesting little folds and funny bits and sort of odd marks, I like to leave them in. There's something quite lovely about them. Here's that staple the stapler situation again. It's really rather clever. It sort of nicks that bit out, folds it over, and then tucks it in over here somewhere. It's very clever. Again, staggered pages. I seem to be getting into that a bit. More thin paper. This is again the other side of that thing that you put domestic appliances, when they send them away to factories to be mended, they put them in these bags. They're quite tough. I had a bit of an international incident this morning where I tried to punch a hole at another journal, tried to punch a little tab in there, and it made my, I thought I'd killed my hole punch. I was particularly beside myself because it is my favourite one and easy to use when my fingers are rubbish. But I did manage to sort it out. But note to self, don't, if you ever get these, don't try and put it through your hole punch thing. It doesn't like it. Another bit of that stamp album page and a pocket for you to put your wonderful treasures in. More of the same. That's the other end of that envelope. It's just coffee dyed envelope. It's nothing very spectacular, but it looks interesting. Bit more of this. I've decided I didn't want to actually cut these bits off because I think they're quite interesting. You never know, you might have a big bit that you want to write about. Obviously, I'm saying writing here. Let me move this up there. I'm saying writing here, but you don't have to write on this at all. You know, you could draw on it. You could put images on it. You could, you know, stick things in. You could collect things. There's a bit of room in this for you to do that. Bit more writing paper, even though it's the other way around. I think it'd be quite interesting to write on the lines, and then when you open the page, the words are going up and down. That could be quite interesting. This is the other side of that pocket, and to extend it out, because I thought, oh, I've just made a pocket now, I need something to extend it out with. I put some an index from a different book, and this is a piece of watercolour paper, so that's just interesting by itself. And then we're back to the end of the book with more stenciling on. And here I decided I wasn't going to put anything in the back of this either. I've just put one signature in. This is paper that I often use for pages, but I've actually stuck it in here, sploshed it with some just blobs. I just kind of, because it's my first time out with alcohol inks, I just kind of flung it at it, but I shall be doing something more interesting next time. This is again some more stencils that are just beautiful. This is a book about brain waves, which is, people give me their old books now, thank you very much everybody. I want to have them, but when you take the actual image out of the book, it just decontextualizes it, so it's kind of interesting. This is a map of Canterbury, Dover, Folkestone, Hythe, Sandgate. This was what this book was about. It was about Kent. So I've just used the book and just kept that map because it was kind of interesting. And then we get onto the back cover. And on the back cover, I'm going to just open it so you can see the whole cover. Let me just move these bits so we don't go into a tiffle-taffle. This is what it looks like. I've given it little feet. These are from the same place as this. They were just these cut out pieces. I don't know whether they were practicing their lasering skills or what really, but it's rather marvellous. Again, I've used this Payne's Grey. I love Payne's Grey. It's called Payne's Grey, but actually it's like a really deep denim blue. It's a fabulous colour. Again, more of that ziggly zaggly stuff from Brainwaves. And I've just put it together as a collage, rubbed it over the brown paper, and I really like it. I think there's something quite fabulous about it. The book is called A Plan because it's, you know, it's a plan for something. I don't know what, doom by the looks of it. It's really grungy. It's £58. There's so much work gone into this and this fantastic thing. I was toying with lots of ideas about closure and then came to the conclusion that actually I just wanted to put an elastic around it, because by and large it will stay closed on its own. I've made this cover stick out a bit because I quite like the nature of that. It's quite a robust book. I like it. There is going to be more of this, I think, this whole collage. There'll be some interactive bits next, I think, because the fine art process is an interesting one. I'll measure it in a second. The fine art process is an interesting one. You do something and then it kicks you in a different direction, and it's all grist to the creative mill. I've had this book inside my head for quite some time, but I didn't know it was going to finish up looking like this. I had this notion of a book, and so this is how it's manifested, and I really, really love it. I think for the right person, it's just lovely. But my plan is to use some of these pieces and put them on the banana box paper and make them so that they are three-dimensional. So it's like a pocket and it's got a lift-up lid. That's the next wave, I think. But, you know, this takes quite a bit of thinking about, because I kind of do it on the wing. I get a bunch of materials out that I think will work together. Then I make the pages of the book and put that to one side, and then I configure what I'm doing. I kind of have a colour theme usually in mind, and then I have at it. So let me give you the all-important sizes. So in inches, it's 8 by 5.5, and it is, I would say, 1.5 inches that away. So in centimetres, for you centimetre peoples, it's 20 by 14.5 by 2.5. It's ready to go. It's called A Plan because it's a plan. Not the most original name, is it? But I quite like it. It's all to do with the fact that these are architectural stencils. I may well just tuck one of these in, because I've got quite a lot of them. I could probably afford to tuck one in. I'll tuck in one that I've got quite a few of, because I think that would be just a good thing to do. It's £58. It's ready to go. I can post it to wherever you are. If you're not in the UK, I'll have to seek out what the postage is. It's just that I'm not a well-renowned international shipper, but I can do it. It's not difficult. It's not beyond me and the postman. The post office chap's very lovely and helpful. So yeah, so that's it. It's bound, 3-hole pamphlet stitch bound, with some crochet cotton and a bit of ribbon, the ilk of which is, I don't know how it is where you are, but in the United Kingdom, if you buy a garment, it has these bits of ribbon that are fastened to the sleeves so that you can actually hang it on a coat hanger, and all they do is just get in the way and poke out of your clothing. So I cut mine off and keep them, because why would you not? It's perfectly serviceable, and I use it often to bind things, but it just worked with this colourway, and it'll fray. I might actually zizz it, but it will fray. I quite like the notion that it'll fray. So there it is. It's called A Plan. If you're interested in this, just let me know. If you've got any comments about my journals, please let me have them, because, you know, we're all in this together separately and we're all on a learning curve, and it's kind of interesting. I look at lots of people's work and get inspired by lots of people. This particular one, I watched December Emera. That's not how you say that. I've said that very badly. With a lady called Louise Heinzel. She's German. And a lady from 47 Dragonflies from Vienna in Austria. And their work is sensational. And this is my interpretation of their work, if you will, because I needed to kick up the whatnots to get me going. But the way they put their work together, it's not like this at all. This is my spin on it, but they do a lot of collage and multimedia and this kind of thing, and it kind of really bites into my fine art self. So there will be more of these. Anyway, thank you very much for your time, and I'll catch up with you in the time. Bye now.